Let's bring in Lieutenant Chris Olivarez of the Texas Department of Public Safety this morning. Lieutenant Olivarez, great to see you this morning. You know, you look at this fentanyl scourge, and you understand a couple of things. The precursors, the chemicals to make that stuff, is coming directly from China. And then in Mexico now, we have essentially pill-pressing industries to turn this into a drug that's then poisoning Americans. What should we be doing that clearly we are not to stop this crisis?
Right. Well, so good morning. So we know for a fact, last year for fiscal year 21, there was over 107,000 deaths, Americans that died from fentanyl poisoning. We know that 95% of the fentanyl that's coming across into the country is coming from the southern border. We also know that fentanyl right now is the leading cause of death for ages 18 to 45. So one thing to understand, as you just mentioned as well, is that these chemical precursors are being exported from China into Mexico to supply the Mexican cartels so they can manufacture and distribute this lethal poisonous drug into our country. And because of that, nearly 300 Americans are dying every single day because of this poisoning. And one thing that's very concerning, not only to myself as a law enforcement officer, but also as a parent, and also what should be concerning to the American people, is that why is the federal government not acting and not taking an aggressive stance going after the Chinese government and also the Mexican government as well to crack down on these chemical production labs that are manufacturing this lethal drug. Also, we're seeing these labs in the United States as well, because we know that criminal gangs that are operating in the United States are also operating with the Mexican cartel so they can distribute this lethal drug. And just what Bill Malusian reported on that significant seizure out of California, 1 million pills that were seized. That just goes to show you, Will, that much more of this lethal drug is getting by us and it's killing Americans at an alarming rate.
Hey, Lieutenant Olivarez, while I have you here, there's been a big push for several governors along the southern border to declare an invasion and then avail themselves of perceived constitutional powers to do something about the illegal immigration crisis. Last week, our governor, as a native Texan, declared by executive order that Texas DPS could return illegal immigrants to the border. Can you tell me what that means in effect for you? You can't transport them across the border into Mexico. You cannot deport them. So what's truly changed in how you handle this illegal immigration crisis?
Right. Well, so unfortunately, we cannot actually enforce immigration law. We can't deport these immigrants back to Mexico, for one, because the Mexican government is not going to accept these immigrants coming from Texas. So what we're able to do, and what Governor Abbott another initiative by Governor Abbott in part of Operation Lone Star, is that we are now apprehending and busing these immigrants from these private ranches and busing them to a facility at the port of entry, one of our facilities where we conduct safety inspections. So that's what we're doing right now with these immigrants. We are actually busing them to these locations. And then once they're there, we're able to then call Border Patrol, who then arrives on scene and then takes custody of those immigrants. But unfortunately, we cannot, and we have not been able to actually deport them back into Mexico because, for one, there are challenges there. There are also legal challenges as well. So, but we're doing as much as we can as a state. And of course, Governor Abbott is doing as much as he can as a governor to actually try to help secure the border and do the government's job. And that's securing the border, as far as also going after this drug of fentanyl that's coming across our borders as well.
All right, Lieutenant Olivarez, thank you so much for highlighting this morning.
Appreciate it, Will. Thank you.